everyone. So I've been pretty obsessed with the game Subway Builders since it came out about a week and a half ago. Put in a lot of hours to it already. I've also been pretty active on the subreddit, and I've seen a lot of questions about how to utilize quad stations and quad tracks. I've tried answering a bunch of people, but it's sometimes easier just to show things instead of explaining them over and over and over again through text. So I thought I'd show a couple of ways that I do this. This is certainly not the only way. Um, Other people, I'm sure, have other methods that are successful as well, but I wanted to show how I handle this issue. So a couple of things I wanted to do. So I've got New York City map loaded. I've got a couple of stations and lines pre-populated. So we're going to take a look at the 4, 5, 6 lines and see how I would configure those for the game. This is not going to be super hyper realistic. I'm not trying to follow the exact paths of the trains. I'm just trying to get something that's functional to sort of show how this works. So I've got this main line set up at a depth of 9 meters. Even though I'm in creative mode, that's generally the default depth I work with when I'm following streets. If I have to pass under buildings or anything, obviously I'll drop down lower, but it gives you a lot of flexibility. You can drop down and go pass underneath, or you can go up and pass over an existing track without having to go above ground. So I want to link up this. We're going to treat these as the terminus stations for this is the 4, the 5, and the 6. These actually do extend further north, but just for the purposes of this demo, we're going to end at these stations. So I've got crossover set up on all 3 already. We're going to bring around this 5 line and link it up with the 4. So one of the ways to do that, you can just bring this around. It's been doing this thing lately since the last update where it flips over and it keeps trying to link up the wrong way. I didn't have this problem before, but hopefully the developers are working on that. This game is in pre-release state, so it's expected to be a little buggy. No problem there. But so we're going to bring this around as steep as I can. We're going to bring it to a depth of 11 because I need to link up with this line that's at 9. I'm going to do this in 2 pieces because it's being a pain. There we go. I'll bring this to here, get under that building. We'll come up to 9, and we will come around this other building, and we will link this up. So this is one way to do it. This is obviously the simplest way. Because this is a level crossing, though, and hopefully this would be a little bit better. But a level crossing, when when a northbound train has to cross over here, it would block a southbound train. Or when a southbound train is coming over here, it wouldn't block. But so you're going to have a crossover here, a level crossing, which is fine, but it's not optimal. So one thing that you can do is you can actually use single tracks to have things pass underneath. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to branch off with a single track. And this is not going to be super pretty. There are ways to make this look nicer. I'm just trying to get something functional to demonstrate. So do that. We drop it down to 13 because we need to go underneath the other track. Hopefully this is low enough to go under these buildings. Yes. So now that we're at 13, we're 4 meters under the other track. I can cross over and I can link this up. Wait till I get, and then link it up like that. Okay. So now I've got this passing underneath, so this is no longer a level crossing. These tracks are at different heights. So as a northbound train crosses over here, it won't block a southbound train, and a southbound train going here won't block the northbound train from crossing over either. So the only other thing to do is I have to bring this around and connect up this side as well. So we'll do that the best that we can. Again, this is not going to be super pretty. That's not my goal. I'm just trying to get something functional here. Oops, I don't want to go to 15. Let me not do that. I went the wrong way. I'm going to go to 11. We're going to bring that here, and then we're going to go up to 9 to link up with the other track. I've been having a lot more trouble. I guess I need to get this to 9 first. So I used to be able to, because this is at 11, I used to be able to just run this and it would link up. I've been having more trouble with that. So we're going to take it to 9 first, and then we'll link up at, I went too far. There. So now we've got this 5 train is able to link up with this 4 line without disrupting at a level crossing. So we're going to do a similar thing with the 6 here. But so we have this quad station set up. So north of 125th Street, these break off into their individual lines. So both the 4 and 5 stop here at 138th Street. But then the 5 branches off and goes east while the 4 continues north. We need to bring the 6 in. And starting at 125th Street, the 4 and 5 will run express through the center 2 lanes, and then the 6 will run local on the outer tracks. So to do that, we're going to I have this at a depth of 13 because I knew it was going to have to do a crossover. So we're going to bring this down here, and then we're going to once again use our singles to pull this across. Again, so I have to cross over at 13. I'm going to bring it to 11. And then we'll bring it to 9. Let's get under that building there. We'll take it to 9, and then we'll have it link up here, like this. Oops. There we go. Perfect. So we want the 6 linking up to that outer track. And then we're also going to do the same thing over here. So what I wish I could do, and hopefully the developers working on this, is I wish I could just bring this straight down and link it up like this. But you have to go in the direction of travel. So I have to, because this is a northbound lane on the right here, I have to start from here, and I have to link it up like this. I don't want it to cross over like that, so we're going to do this in pieces. So we're going to do that, and then hopefully that'll, boom. Okay, perfect. So now we have the 6 train crossing under again, so that it doesn't disrupt any level crossing, and joining up with this station here. Moving to the south side of our route here, once again, we're going to, the 4 and 5 would continue past. We're just going to treat this as a terminus station for these purposes. We'll add a crossover here just in case. So the 6, however, ends at Chamber Street. So I already added this in, but you can see that there is this little loop on the back here. So the station comes like this. Excuse me. So a mistake that a lot of people make is they have trouble figuring out how to make their outer trains work on these quad stations. So the problem is that a southbound train coming down here, once it enters this station, it needs to go back north again. There's no way currently for it to cross over from this left lane over to the right lane. Crossovers only currently work on the middle tracks. There are a couple of ways to handle this. The easiest one is going to be literally to do a single track and just add this little semicircle loop here to the back of the station. This is a level crossing, so it will interfere, but it's such a small thing, and the 4 and the 5 have to stop at this station anyway, so I don't think it's a big deal. You could come back here, drop down, go underneath, and then come back around, but you're going to have trouble with those curvatures and getting a large enough circle that your train is able to follow that path. So that's done. So we're going to go ahead and build our blueprints, and then we're going to come up here and we're actually going to set up our routes. So we're going to set up the 6 first. So create the route, and we're going to edit it. So it's going to start up here, doesn't matter which side we pick, and then it's going to come down here. And so the 6 currently does not have a path. If I try to click this, there's no way for the train to get to that inner lane, right? So we got to go on the outside, which is what we want anyway. So we're going to add local stops at all of these stations. Super exciting watching me go through all of these and do this. But you get the idea. So this is going to go down here, and this train is going to stop at all of these stations. And then when we get to the final station for the 6, we will have to send it only to one side of the station, and it will automatically switch over to the other side when it is done. It doesn't matter which side you pick. So down here. So I just need to pick one of these sides. If I pick both of them, it's literally going to stop. It's going to come around. It's going to stop again. So what I actually want it to do, I think, is have it stop on this side. So it'll come around and it'll stop here. That way it's not sitting here and then waiting and disrupting things and moving slowly. So we do that. We will confirm our changes. So that route is done. We can actually get those trains going now. Let's buy some trains. Buy a couple here. do that. So if we hit play, we'll actually see some trains start following this route. I think they start at the top. Yep, perfect. So then I'm going to set up my 4 and my 5 route. Obviously, I'm just setting up a couple trains here. We don't need a lot. Let me set up the 4 here. So if I set up the 4, we're going to edit this route. So once again, we choose one of these stations. So the 4 is going to operate on the inside, but it's not going to stop at every station. So it stops at 125th. Then let's see, I don't have these routes memorized. I have to pull up my New York City subway map on my other screen. And we see that it stops. The next stop it makes is 86th Street. So then we're going to go down here. We're going to skip all these other stations, and it's going to stop at 86th Street. Oh, there's our 6th train already going through. And then the next stop it makes is 59th Street. Some of these station names might not be right. Don't worry about it. Not important for the demo. Then it goes 42nd Street. And then it will stop at 14th Street, which is, which one is that? It's this one. This is incorrectly named. I didn't fix all of these. So 14th Street, and the next station it stops at is City Hall, which is this terminus station here. This is currently labeled as Chambers Street. Okay. All right, so it's going to stop here, and then it would continue down here. And again, we would probably have this going further, but for now, I'm just going to do it here. Something else I'm going to show is that, so I'm going to have the 4, when you have 2 trains that are stopping on the same side, I'm going to have the 4 go on this side, and then the 5 go on this side, so that when the 4 is sitting in the station to turn around, another train of 5 can also pull in here. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the same thing for the 5. We're going to buy more trains. And then we'll set up the 5 as well, and then we'll be done. And you'll be able to see those trains going through those express lanes in the middle and skipping stations. We'll actually watch the 4 do that. So the 4 stops there, but then we'll be able to see that it actually will skip 110th Street and go right through, skip 103rd Street, skip 96th Street, skip 86th Street. Oh, it stops at 86th Street. So this is how you set up express trains. So we still have the 6 that is following those outside lines. I don't know where the train is right now. There's only 3 of them running, so it takes a while. But so it runs on those outside paths. And then we could do the same thing for the 5. I don't think it's worth everyone's time to watch me do that. But hopefully this answers some questions. Certainly let me know in the comments, or you can find me on Reddit, Winky5970. Yeah, happy building.